Hey, this is Tony with Salt Strong, and in this video I want to talk about the DieZel MinnowZ in the 7-inch size. We're going to be talking about how to rig these up depending on the type of area you're fishing, and also the best times to use these bigger baits. Now when you do get to the end of this video, if you did enjoy it, please be sure to give it a like and also subscribe to our channel where we put out product reviews and fishing tips pretty much on a daily basis. So first, let's talk about when I would use these bigger 7-inch baits. Summertime and into the fall is going to be more ideal for these bigger baits, just because bait fish are at their biggest that time of year, because they pretty much hatch in the early spring. You know, in the springtime you have small baits, and then as you get further into the year, those bigger baits start to show up, and then in the winter time they pretty much disappear. That's when I would switch to more of like a shrimp or a crab pattern or profile of a bait. So these bigger baits, late summer and into fall, would be the best bet for using them. Also, I would mainly use these around passes and inlets, you know, wherever those bigger fish are gonna be, because bigger fish definitely do like bigger baits. Now, if you're out on an open flat and you happen to see a school of some really big redfish or some really big snook hanging around docks, this would also be a great option. Again, bigger fish, bigger baits. Later in the year, fall and end of summer, great time for these bigger baits. Now, as far as rigging them up, that's really going to depend on the scenario. If I'm trying to get this bait down pretty quick, let's say I'm fishing a pass or an inlet, I want to get this bait down to the bottom as quickly as possible. I would use a jig head. These are the Z-Man Headlocks jig heads. They work really well for these baits. Go ahead and show you how they rig up. This is the 8/0 3/4 ounce Headlocks jig head, and it fits this bait perfectly, the 7-inch bait. Hook point comes out close to the center of the body, and I'll quickly just show you how this rigs up here. Basically just push it onto the hook just like you would a regular jig head. Make sure that hook point is going down the center of the body. You don't want your bait to end up a little crooked. Once you have the bait on there, just push it up over that portion of the shank of the hook that has that metal barb or metal area right there. And what I like to do also is just pull on the bait, hold the actual bend of the hook, pull the bait like you're trying to pull it off the other end of the jig head. And as you can see there, it sits on there nice and even, nice and secure. So again, if you're fishing those deeper areas, passes, inlets, or around docks, I definitely go with the jig head just to get that bait down faster. Now, if you happen to be fishing a little bit shallower and you don't have to get your bait down very quickly, let's say it's a pretty shallow dock, or there's not a lot of current, or you're pitching up to the mangroves or something like that, or you just don't want to get snagged in general, I prefer the Chinlock hooks. These are also made for Z-Man baits. As you can see, they have that barb on the front, which helps hold the bait on, and then the weight in the middle, and it's a wide gap hook. This one here is the 10/0 1 ounce size, and it also works really well for these 7-inch DieZel MinnowZ. So let's go ahead and rig this one up. Just put that hook point through the nose of the bait, then out through the bottom. And the nice thing about these Z-Man baits that you're gonna find, you can't really rig any other type of soft plastic on these because of that weight that's in the middle, because these Z-Man baits, they stretch and they'll just push right over that weight without getting torn up. And then you'll just push the bait up past that next barb that holds it on secure. And now you have that bait up on the hook. And these baits have a slot in the belly. And also notice the fins on top. Make sure you line that hook up right in between those fins. They also act as sort of like a weed guard. So when you line that hook up, make sure it comes out right between those two fins, like so. And just make sure it's laying right in between those two fins. And when it is, you don't really have to skin hook it. As you can see, that hook is buried underneath those two fins, and it's right in the center of it, which keeps it nice and streamlined and weedless and snagless. So again, shallow water, flats, grass flats, wherever you don't want to get snagged up, go with the Chinlocks hook to keep it weedless and snagless. Now, if you are interested in these baits and also these hooks, keep in mind that if you are an Insider member, you do get 20% off our online tackle shop, which we now have. Public has access to it, but only our Insider Club members get 20% off rods, reels, tackle, line, accessories, cast nets, sunglasses, all sorts of stuff on there. And we're constantly adding new items. So if you're not an Insider Club member, you're definitely missing out on some really good deals. So that will wrap up this video. If you have any questions or comments or any feedback about these baits that you would like to share with us, definitely do so in the comments down below. Till next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.
Hey there, it's Joe Simons, one of the co-founders here at Salt Strong, and have you claimed your free pack of these irresistible Slam Shady paddle tail lures? We designed this lure with over 12,000 serious inshore anglers, including many full-time guides, to go out there and catch more redfish, more speckled trout, more snook, more flounder, more inshore saltwater slams. And if you want a free pack to try out a sample yourself, click down below right now. We have one free pack per angler while supplies last. Click down below right now.